Hello, this is Daniel from sound.headquarters.inc. In today's video, we are building these beautiful bass traps. I'm going to show you step by step the whole process of building the frame for these traps, insulating them, and then the final upholstery to give you professional grade bass traps that are ready for installation in your studio. So let's get right into it. These are the materials. This is 3/4 inch plywood and 2x2 lumber. And out of that, we're going to build the framing for these bass traps. So right here, I'm marking out my triangle plates. These are going to make the top and bottom triangle plates of these bass traps. And I'm using a track saw to cut these here, but you can use a circular saw and a guide, or a larger table saw, panel saw if you have it. So just getting these cut out, and with our 2-foot wide bass traps, the short sides of the triangle end up being 17 inches, and then that long side of the triangle is the 24 inches, makes us a 2-foot wide bass trap. So here's the table saw. I'm setting this up at 3 inches and then angling the blade at 45 degrees. This is going to give us our left and right supports for the bass trap frames. And then in the back 90-degree area of the triangle, we're going to use that piece of 2x2. So I'm cutting that right here, cutting down those left and right supports. And the height of these supports makes the height of your final bass trap. So we subtracted the width of 2 pieces of 3/4 inch so that our final height ends up being 6 feet, because this client ordered 2 feet wide traps by 6 feet tall. So we're going to make sure that's the exact dimension that they get, but you can make it whatever height you need for your studio. So we're going to go ahead and assemble this frame. I'm using a 18 gauge brad nailer to nail each of these top and bottom plates into the supports. And you can see we get our triangular prism shape there. And then I'm going back in with my drill to add a screw to each of these supports as well. This just helps add some structural integrity and rigidity to everything. And I'm just nailing down those brad nails to make sure they are not sticking out for when we add the fabric upholstery. Now this is the middle brace. So I'm adding a 45-degree bevel on both sides of the middle brace, so that when I nail it in, as you can see right here, it meets up nicely on the 45-degree sections of the trap. And I'm adding this brace to add structural rigidity to the center of the trap. That way the sides don't bend inwards when we upholster it with the fabric. And it also helps keep a stable kind of platform for the final piece of rigid acoustic insulation, which you'll see in a minute here. So we have both of our bass traps framed. Now the next step is to get the rear fabric on before we add the insulation. So this is just a standard polyester, just a black cloth. And so we're stapling that on, and we want to add lots of staples here to make sure that the insulation is not easily leaking out of the traps. And we're using Safe and Sound by Rockwool as the interior fill for these bass traps. And then we're using Owens Corning 703 2-inch as the rigid acoustic insulation, as you can see right there. So this rigid insulation will be the front face of the bass trap, and using that Rockwool Safe and Sound as the fill. As you can see right there, we cut it all into triangles and filled the whole cavity of the trap. And now we can add that Owens Corning on top, and we're cutting in that 45-degree bevel on both sides so it lays nice and flat inside the frame of the bass trap. Then I can just add my front fabric, making sure that all my staples are not anywhere on the front face of the trap. As you can see right there, we have all of our black fabric on, and there's the next trap ready to go. And the reason why we're doing 2 layers of fabric is because this client ordered white Guildford of Maine fabric, and this fabric is kind of transparent and it has a bit of like a wider kind of open weave to the fabric. So I wanted to make sure that we added another fabric underneath to act as a liner so that the insulation is less exposed to the air, and it also helps the white fabric look more opaque so that you don't see any of the insulation or the framing of the bass trap through the white fabric. Adding that black fabric as the first liner really helps with that final look. Once all of the fabric is stapled nicely to the rear of the frame, you can just trim off the excess, and there is your finished trap. So hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'm gonna give you guys some nice glamour shots of these bass traps after in the shop before I added the bags on them, as you can see. So I bagged them up so that they were ready for transport and delivery to the clients same day. And it is tough working with the white fabric. You want to make sure that if you guys are building these yourselves, that right away you protect them so that the face stays nice and clean until you install them. And hopefully you guys don't get them dirty if you end up building white ones. So thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Daniel from sound.headquarters.inc. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. We have a lot of really, really cool projects coming to you the whole rest of the year and for the whole future to come. So thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Daniel, Sound Headquarters, signing out. Peace.